Hey guys, welcome to the Homestead. So today we're going to talk about the Arkansas Traveler versus the Cherokee Purple tomato. I grew both of those this year. Those were my primary tomatoes that I grew for food, for production, for canning purposes, and all that stuff. Before we get into the video, I made a mistake in the last video. I was talking about making my spaghetti / pizza sauce, really pizza sauce, and I mentioned caraway seed being the difference between a very tasty pizza sauce and one that's just kind of spaghetti sauce. And I was wrong. That was fennel seed. Fennel. Everyone, the comments erupted and letting me know, no, stop, Zach, stop. Fennel seed. If you want to separate your pizza sauce from being just spaghetti sauce, because if you compare the two bottles inside of your supermarket, you know, the kinds that don't have all the natural and artificial flavors and all the chemicals and stuff, but try to find brands that actually have good, wholesome ingredients. And you compare the two ingredients between pizza and spaghetti sauce, the ingredients primarily are the same. But people have said, okay, if you want to take your pizza sauce and make it really pizza sauce, you want to add fennel seed, not caraway. Sorry. I hope a whole bunch of people out there didn't put caraway seed in. If you did, just send me a jar. I'll eat it anyway. It's okay. All right, here's the deal. So this year, I've been doing for years the Arkansas Traveler, and I really like the Arkansas Traveler. And I tell people, listen, you can't just throw seeds into the ground and expect, you know, food to come up. It takes time. It takes practice to learn what works, and there's, you know, experience. Experience comes from pain, and oh, no. Wisdom comes from pain and experience. You must experience the pain of losing and pest pressures and disease and fungus and groundhogs and deer getting into your garden, all kinds of horrible apocalyptic things. And then once you go through that, you learn what works in your area. You talk to other gardeners and you're like, you know, these are the things that really help, you know, that really do grow in my area. And you start to grow those things. Well, one of the things I learned early on, we experimented with many of different types of tomato. And the one I have learned that works the best here where I live, in this high heat, I'm sweating almost. It's hot here. I have no air conditioning. Is the glorious Arkansas Traveler. It's the Arkansas Traveler. It's meant for this heat. It produces a very beautiful and large tomato. Some of them can be quite large. This is about on the large side. Most of them are going to be like this, so it's a little bit bigger. You see the difference, okay? So a little bit smaller, but they produce these perfect pictured tomatoes. You know, in the high heat, there's a little bit of cracking on that. It's okay. No big time. That'll be fine. And I got all these in the kitchen because I'm getting ready to make some more pizza sauce today. I'm going to be canning a bunch of pizza sauce and making some more tomato juice. Some of you guys in the comments were like, Zach, Bloody Marys. I don't think I've ever had a Bloody Mary that I think I had one years ago. And I don't remember liking it too much. But I think I'm going to get all the ingredients to try a Bloody Mary because I do have an abundance of juice now. It requires fire bitters and celery bitters, and celery just can't be a garnish. Anyway, I'm going to try it. Maybe if you guys are interested in a homegrown tomato juice Bloody Mary, then leave a comment below. Maybe I'll do that. Okay, completely sidetracked. Squirrel. It's morning. I got a lot of energy. By the end of the day, after I'm done canning all that, and my kids are out there picking pinto beans right now, so I'm going to be completely wiped. All right, so this is the Cherokee Purple, okay? One of the Cherokee Purples that we got out there. How did they do? These did, for the most part, fantastic again this year. I really have no complaints. These are just a guaranteed producer. I love them. I will always grow them. And but there was a little bit of differences this year. The Cherokee Purples, I got these seeds from a neighbor down the road. She gave me a whole bunch of seeds, gave me one really good tomato, and I saved the seeds, and they had about a 99% germination rate, if not 100%. It was like they all germinated, and they all germinated very, very quickly. Like within 2-3 days, they were up. And I'm like, wow, that's amazing. My Arkansas Travelers, they usually have about a 90% ish germination rate, and they it takes them about a week to pop up, and get going. But they're old reliables. They do well. These, I was really impressed with the germination rate, like 99, if not 100%, and it was like within 3 days, 2 days, 3 days tops. My complaints with this is that, or are that, they tend, a lot of them, to rot on the vine. They produce some really large, fruit, and, they're not picture perfect like the Arkansas Travelers are as much. Look at that picture perfect Arkansas Traveler compared to that one. But I don't care about that. I don't care about blemishes. Even if there's a piece rotten, I just cut that off and put it right back into the pot. I can deal with the blemishes. I don't care. I mean, that's what real tomatoes look like. However, there was many, I would say, of all the of all the Cherokee Purples that I grew, I would say about half of them rotted on the vine. Like, I could not even get to them because they were rotting. And I don't know what was going on with that. My Arkansas Travelers experienced no such maladies. The Cherokee Purples, I'm not kidding you, 50% rotted on the vine. I'll get to that in a second. But they do have an amazing taste, an amazing flavor. These are good. They taste really wonderful. But the Cherokee Purples have a flavor all their own. And I really enjoy the flavor. So I probably will continue to grow these next year. I was really disappointed just with how much yield I got from how much I grew. And there were some large ones on there. And not only that, but a lot of them were malformed. Like they formed in just weird shapes and like not tomato-like at all. Like they were just like these just globs of redness on the vine, and many of them are rotting. I don't understand that. This was not the norm. This shape, and this one here. I mean, look, it's got a little bit of misformation on the bottom there, but that's still fine to eat. I can make that work. But a lot of them just were misformed. They weren't perfect. And again, I don't need perfect. I don't need a perfect tomato. It doesn't have to look like that all the time. These almost look like store-bought. But, who knows what's going into those things these days. But, amazing flavor, excellent germination, quick germination, but just not the prettiest, and a lot of them rotted. Now, excuse me. I don't know what's going on. It's early. All right. One other thing I noticed about these that I had never seen in my garden before. I had, in some of these ones, I had a couple of them that were malformed, like this donut shape with like a space in the middle. On 2 separate occasions, I picked a tomato like that, where it was kind of like donut form with a space in, a hole in the middle, and there was a black widow inside. I have never seen a black widow in my tomato plants. Not once, not ever. Twice this year, I pulled out a Cherokee Purple with a black widow in it. Now, if you've ever experienced that, please leave a comment below. Don't make it up. If that really happened to you, let me know. Is that something that are black widows just like the Arkansas or the Cherokee Purple? Maybe they're partial to Cherokee. I don't know. We are close to Cherokee Nation here in Oklahoma, so I don't know. But anyway, there's black widows, in my garden now, and I'm like, what? Every time I reach in to pick one, I'm like, yeah, I don't want to go to the hospital. Anyway, all that to say, that's been my experience. I really did like the flavor of these things, but I was not happy with how a lot of them turned out. These were the old reliable, the Arkansas Traveler, the old reliable. And I'm getting ready to go in there, drop them into some hot boiling water and split the skins, peel the skins, and then make some more pizza sauce. The only problem is I don't have any fennel seed. So I'm going to have to go ahead and maybe add the fennel, like sprinkle a little bit of fennel afterwards on the sauce when I put it on the pizza, and just see how that works, if I can tell a difference in the flavor that way. But anyway, what are your thoughts? How have your gardens been this year? Somebody asked in the comments yesterday, hey, Zach, how's your garden been this year? I tell you, man, my garden's been fantastic. For the most part, I have had zero issues. I've had probably the fewest amount of issues that I've ever had in a garden year. I'm not kidding you. The plants are growing well. The deer have stayed out of my garden, and I attribute that to a couple of different of those little windmills that I put in the garden. I got those from Hobby Lobby. And so I think maybe that was also I have my motion sensors, my electronic motion sensors up and running. So that probably helped. Those usually kind of help. But I think that combined with the little wind turbine things that from Hobby Lobby, I think that really helped keep the deer out this year. So usually the deer will come in, eat my beans, eat my okra, and a whole bunch of other stuff, sweet potatoes. Didn't touch it this year. Sweet potatoes are doing well. Potatoes, I have potatoes out there I need to harvest right now. There's cabbage heads out there I need to harvest that are beyond probably, I probably let them go too long. And then I've got my kids out there harvesting pinto beans right now. We'll be canning some of those tomorrow and saving those tomorrow. And they're going to dry today, and then I'll probably can them tomorrow. And then I got a bunch of basil out there. The pest pressures, I have not found not one tomato hornworm this year in my garden, and I have at least 50 tomato plants out there. Not one tomato hornworm. And I think possibly is because in the midst of my tomato crop, I have 2 giant basil plants. And I have read online that basil will keep insects away. Does it keep tomato hornworms away? I have not seen one this year. Not one. I've had a fantastic year. Listen, some years you just have a horrible, disastrous year. But you keep doing it, and some things are going to succeed, some things are going to fail. Hopefully you get a 50-50 that you can walk away happy with, and then you try again next year. Some years you get maybe a little bit less than 50% on your end that you can claim as your own, and then some years you get much higher percentage. It's just every year is going to be different, and you're going to gain wisdom through pain and experience. So let me know your wisdom accumulation this year down below in the comments. Let me know how your garden's doing. I've heard a lot of people are having trouble this year, but I have had none. And I attribute that mostly to my experience in trying new things and always trying to see what works and experimenting, staying with what works, and then trying new things on the side to hopefully get the best yield possible. Interested in your comments. Also, we will be doing another video coming up this week promoting the Oupes solar generators. We are going to be testing the Titan 3. And this is built for a lot of you guys out there who are going to be using construction tools when building your homestead. Maybe you're in an off-grid situation. This is specifically for you guys. So stay tuned to that. I'll have a video coming out probably, and they're sending me the unit probably in a couple weeks. They want the video to be released around September 9th. So that's after the Marshfield event in Springfield, the Homesteading Expo. I hope you see me out there. But I will be doing another review for that particular unit coming up, and then the next couple of weeks we're going to be promoting the Oupes solar generators because they are having a sale right now. The way you find out if you're going to save money on these things is you go to my website at AmericanHomestead.com, link in the description below, and you click on the banner ad right there on the right side for the Oupes solar generators, and you see what sales they're running. Usually you can save a couple $1,000s if you just keep checking that. Every so often. They run a lot of big sales. And they are fantastic generators. I've been using them now for a couple years. All right, guys, leave a comment below. How's your garden doing? See you next time in the homestead. Bye. One of the best perks about living off-grid is that I never pay an electric bill. I love being my own power company, but that means when things go wrong, I have to be the one on call. So I try and use reliable components for my power production. For the last couple of years, I have been promoting Oupes solar generators. I've been using them and abusing them, and as it turns out, they are pretty good products. They have power generators for all occasions, and they can be charged by permanent or portable solar panels, as well as AC power. They offer true lithium iron phosphate batteries, and this is important. Recently, a family in my area had a different brand that uses the less stable nickel manganese cobalt, or NMC type batteries. The unit caught fire in the middle of the night. It was a scary situation, and it caused damage to the home, but thankfully nobody was hurt. The generator, as you can see, was a total loss. This drives home the point on why it's so important to employ solar generators like the Oupes brand that uses the much more safe and stable technology of lithium iron phosphate, otherwise called LiFePO4. They offer small generators for travel or for powering an entire home and everything in between. These are great backups to have in a medical emergency, or to power a freezer full of your favorite meat products, or as I have shown in past videos, for even backup AC and DC power sources for ham radio communications. If the grid goes down, you're going to be thankful you have one of these units. You can find the link in the description of this video or click on the banner ad found on the front page of our website at AmericanHomestead.com. Right here, that banner ad right there on AmericanHomestead.com. Hey guys, did you know you can become a patron of an American Homestead? They get access to private videos, and we send them gifts from the homestead that we make here on the homestead. And we also enter our patrons into special giveaways that are only available to them. And before you go, please check out these other great videos. Go ahead, click. I'll wait.